Greetings, friends, and welcome back to the channel. Before we begin, don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you're one of those fans who believe Tasakak Bu Denies should never reach a final episode. Trust me, after what's coming next, that wish might feel stronger than ever. The upcoming installment is shaping up to be one of the most gripping, emotionally intense, and game-changing episodes the series has delivered so far. Everything we know about the Koçari and Fırtına families is about to shift dramatically, and every character will be pushed to their breaking point. The new episode opens with a powerful moment. Adil Koçari, unwavering and fearless, prepares to rescue Esme from Şerif's hold once again. This time, there is no hesitation, no doubt, no fear, only determination born from love, heartbreak, and a refusal to let Esme suffer any longer. His rescue mission succeeds, but the aftermath sets off a chain reaction of explosive rage inside Şerif. Being outmaneuvered by Adil in front of his own people is something Şerif cannot and will not tolerate. Esme's return to the Koçari household brings temporary relief, but it also becomes the spark that ignites a far darker response from Şerif. What begins as wounded pride quickly turns into uncontrollable fury. His already unstable mind crosses a dangerous line, and he decides to strike where it hurts the most. For the first time, he openly threatens to abduct Eleni, Esme's young daughter. This moment becomes the emotional core of the episode because it forces Esme into an impossible choice: her freedom or her child's safety. As a mother, Esme has no room to negotiate. Fearing for Eleni's life, she agrees to every demand Şerif puts forward. And so, once again, she returns to the Fırtına household not because she wants to, not because she's conflicted, but because she has no other option. This sacrifice leaves a heavy psychological mark on her. She becomes quieter, colder, more withdrawn, burdened by the knowledge that she is walking back into a prison solely to protect her daughter. Meanwhile, Adil struggles to understand why Esme would willingly leave the Koçari home after finally being rescued. When he eventually uncovers the truth, the threats, the fear, the emotional blackmail, he is shaken to his core. Their confrontation is destined to become one of the standout scenes of the episode. Esme's silence, Adil's pain, the heavy tension in the room, it all paints a picture of two people who love each other deeply yet are torn apart by forces far beyond their control. Once Adil learns what Şerif has done, something inside him snaps. The thought of Esme being forced back into captivity because of a threat against a child pushes him to take an even greater risk. He sets out to retrieve her again, this time prepared to face whatever violence is waiting for him. Every step he takes toward the Fırtına mansion feels like a step into a storm that could destroy everything. If my prediction holds true, this second rescue attempt will lead to a major turning point in the series. I believe Şerif may confront Adil directly and, driven by pure rage, end up shooting him. If this happens, the emotional shockwaves will spread through both families instantly. The Koçari home will be thrown into chaos and grief, while the Fırtına household will brace for retaliation like never before. Esme's devastation will be heartbreaking to watch because in her eyes, Adil's suffering is the price of her forced submission. But while these events dominate the main storyline, another thread begins to quietly rise to the surface: Orac's internal struggle. Until now, he hasn't taken center stage, often lingering in the background of major conflicts. However, the next episodes might finally place him in a pivotal position. The pressure inside the Fırtına family intensifies, and Şerif directs much of it toward Orac. Torn between loyalty and morality, Orac gradually finds himself pushed toward a darker path. My theory is that Şerif will manipulate him relentlessly, convincing him that the only way to protect the family's honor is to participate in a plan to recapture Esme. Orac, who has always wanted to prove himself, may fall into this trap. His involvement in Esme's second abduction would not only shock viewers but also reshape the dynamics of both families. Watching Orac betray someone he should have protected will leave a deep emotional mark on Esme and ignite a fierce, unforgiving fury in Adil Koçari once he learns the truth. All of this escalating violence and betrayal sets the stage for a completely different storyline growing quietly in the shadows: the subtle, unspoken connection between İso Fırtına and Fadime Koçari. Unlike the loud and fiery clashes of the main plot, their relationship develops in silence, through glances held a little too long, awkward small talk, and unexpected moments of vulnerability. ISO, raised with hatred toward the Koçaris, begins to feel something he cannot name. Fadime, with her gentle strength, senses the hidden softness behind ISO's hardened exterior. Neither of them is ready to admit these feelings, not even to themselves. Yet their presence around each other becomes increasingly charged, hinting at a forbidden bond that could eventually become one of the most compelling subplots of the entire series. When Adil and Gazep eventually notice the tension between them, the situation will escalate dramatically. In a world where alliances are fragile and family pride is everything, even the slightest affection between two members of enemy families is enough to fuel a crisis. By the time the episode ends, Tasakak Bu Denies will leave viewers with a mixture of heartbreak, shock, suspicion, and curiosity. The foundations of both families will be shaken. The lines between right and wrong will blur. Every character will walk into the next episode carrying new wounds, emotional, mental, or even physical. And for us, the audience, one question will linger long after the credits roll. How much more destruction will this storm bring before anyone finds peace? If you believe Tasakak Bu Denies should continue for many more episodes, share your thoughts in the comments. And of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what's coming next, because the story is just getting started.